Hey guys, I'm back with more Final Fantasy 14, and we're going to be doing side quests first, couple of them, and then we're going to be doing the dungeon. Right then, before we do that, so 1, 2, okay, not that one then. There we go. Well, scuff my helm, if it ain't that traveller we've been hearing about, the elders had more and a few things to say. I'd best to be giving you a proper welcome then, eh? Leho. Now that's what I like to say, a laddie ho, straight from the heart. I only wish my own boy would put a bit more effort into his laddies and his hoes. He's always busy fiddling with his damn automata. No time for swapping wares with folk of flesh and blood. Every dwarf knows that a laddie ho gets a laddie ho, or you're asking to become an outcast. It mother does worry, it does. And that's only the half of it. I know it's just a stage all there to go through, but the Lord Butter has to argue with every word I say. Oh, I've just had the most clever idea. You'll not listen to me or the other villagers, but maybe, just maybe, curiosity for a stranger will win out over that sour attitude of his. Worth a try, don't you think? Please befriend my son, Ronit. Just get him used to giving a proper greeting, that's all I ask. And I tell you, he really is a marvel with automata. If you end up getting along, he might even show you a few of his stranger contraptions. Okay? Look, we got a visitor. Why don't you say hello? Who are you then? What? You got something to say to me? bloody hell. Oh, you know, our greeting. Bloody... Oh dear. Oh, my lad, you can do better than that. Heads up, eyes front, no need to be shy. I'm not being shy, I'm stoic. Yes dear, if you say so. Now, Ronit, is everything else alright? You seem to be looking for something. Oh no, it's just, I mean, I saw I lost my hammer. You, what? Of all the irresponsible, careless, foolish. Ronit's hammer has been in the family for generations. It's priceless. Heirloom that once belonged to Watts, the blacksmith of legend himself. Well, what are you standing around for, boy? Find that hammer. We will do what we can to help. Why don't you have a chat with some villagers for me and ask if they've seen Bonnet's hammer? Just remember your dwarven manners and all will be well. Alright. Yeah. Do you want words from me then? You're a dwarven greeting. Oh, that's a fine lady heart. You got there, lad. I like it. Want it? Ah, that sulky Sprout's lost his old Watts hammer, has he? Well, lucky for him, I believe yon gentle wolf picked it up. It's time I was getting back to work then. Good day to you, stranger. You're talking to me? Oh, what's this? A perfect layout? You're no ordinary traveller, I see. The hammer. I picked up, yeah. I reckoned I would hand it over to the elder for safekeeping. You're saying it belongs to young Ronit. Well, he can be a touch shouty, that boy. Do you think you could take it back to him from me? That's my part done then. Okay. Huh? Why are you still here? Wait, this is my hammer. Wow. We should look at that. You save on it, give the right and proper greeting, and folk will be glad to show a bit of kindness. Could be that you've a thing or two to learn from Crusoe here? Huh? Are you lecturing me again? Aye, well, maybe. Maybe you're not such a bad sort. I'll just put the hammer in a safe place somewhere. I mean, to be a famous smithy myself someday. So I best not lose it again. I'll leave you to it then. I know my boy is not the easiest to get along with, Rito, but he could sure use a friend like you. I don't need a friend. I don't need anyone. Wow. We're not going to be friends, understand? But you can stay around a little longer if you want. So, now what? Should be doing that. Not yet, anyway. That one. Well, the other one has got to be over here then. You didn't happen to see a lone girl over at top rung, did you? It was her turn to keep an eye on the ladder, but she is well past due to return. No, I wonder what could have. The two of us were once bonded citizens, you see. We were not treated well. But even after fleeing here to Amity, it seems our experiencing Ormore has left my friend distrustful of most other folk. I can't be surprised to learn that she simply ran ahead when she saw you coming up the cliff. It wouldn't be the first time. I know it's a lot to ask, but do you think you could find her and calm her down? A soothing word from a stranger might go a long way towards rebuilding her confidence. Alright. Where will she be? Okay. Maybe... She's on the outside of it. Yep. I'm not gonna get up there. Oh. No, please, just let me go. Didn't work, did it? Things. Please, I did nothing wrong. The terrified girl seems convinced that you are here to apprehend her. Do as Samushai bid you and try a few soothing words. I saw you come up the ladder. You're a bounty hunter from Ormore, aren't you? I'm not a bounty hunter. Oh, I just thought since I used to work as a servant to her husband and wife in Ormore, the Lord would make all manner of suggestive comments, but I did my best to ignore or rebuff his advances. And then one day, the lady accused me of tempting her husband. She pulled me aside and had me beaten near to death. Damn. That's why I ran from you. I was so certain she'd send someone to drag me back. Forgive me, I didn't mean to cause you or send me any trouble. I will head straight back and let her know I'm alright. Oh, poor thing. Ah, you're back. Thank you for going out of your way to find my friend. It's a small step, but I'm glad she was able to talk to you. Here, a little something from the both of us to reward your kindness. Thank you. And now I can finally do the main story dungeon. And then I'll be able to fly in this place. Well, I wonder what's the next place after Collusia. Who's gonna come with us? We don't need another tank, so I think instead of as I say, I'm gonna have Rain.
Here we go.
So
So it is you. You will not defile my new paradise.
I will not hold back! I'll show you!
And here comes the first boss.
Here we go! Gloves are off. You underestimate me. You underestimate me.
Okay, I'll grab that. Oh, that's too bad.
Scurrying about my domain like insects! I will not suffer it!
The hell?
Come no closer! Filthy creatures!
And skill speed is more important, I think. But then again, well, it doesn't really matter. There. Forgive him whimsy.
Leave the healing to me. Talia, protect me.
That one done. It's not bad anyway.
I am righteousness,
Are you
and
sure, buddy?
righteousness will prevail. Can't you do anything by yourself?
make me.
Gloves are off.
Oh, Dancer's weapon. Not bad, I suppose.
Leave the healing to me.
The gloves are off.
Very well. If you will not be discouraged.
Leave the healing to me.
What's that?
The gloves are off.
Oh, boss. It should be foolproof. Or not. Some sort of sin, forgiven obscenity. Okay.
them, damn you! I don't care what it takes!
I'll show you.
Focus. Release.
The hell? Okay, it does not look good.
Give me strength!
I will not hold back.
That wasn't so bad. Okay. I got a great sword from it. Is a Dark Knight's weapon. Definitely better than what I'm got right now. So you're gonna equip that.
The end is near, my friends. We have found Vorthri's hiding place.
Unrepentant villains! Will you not be satisfied until you have brought disaster down upon your heads? By your wickedness, you stand to gain naught but ceaseless conflict. Had you only entrusted fate to me, there would have been peace for all. You could have lived bliss in my eternal paradise, free from the burdens of conscience and purpose.
Peace assumes many forms, and I do not doubt that you considered yours well worth the cost. I was even prepared to believe that the end might justify the means. Ignorant as I was, I had hoped that you might mend your ways and join hands with us, that we might strive together for the happiness of all. But no more. Your actions cannot be reconciled with your words. Peace for all, you say? Yet when you were threatened, your first act was to sacrifice your own people in order to save yourself. If your paradise can be rebuilt so long as you alone survive, it exists not for the people. It exists solely for your twisted pleasure.
Hear me, Vorthri. The people won't submit to your will, for we each have our own. I made a promise to a noble soul, a woman who saw fit to entrust me with her legacy, and I mean to keep it. Everyone who stands with us has something precious, something that they cherish and would die to protect. They know their own hearts. They know what they want for this world. And by lending their strength to our cause, they have spoken. No matter how hard you may try to bend the world to your will, we will never yield!
Silence! Not another word!
Damn.
You presume to lecture me. Insolent worms. You will learn your place. With my true powers awakened, I will expunge you like the filth you are. Your demise will serve as a reminder to all that I am the zenith of mankind and Sin Eater both, chosen to rule over creation by right of transcendence. My very existence is virtuous. I am perfect, immaculate.
He seems disinclined to grant us an audience.
Find Vorthree. We will hold the Eaters here. Come! Let's finish this!
So another dungeon, or is that trial? Probably a trial. Yeah. It's a trial.
Are you so determined to die? One last chance, villains! Bow down and acknowledge your king! Your god! Come! Prepare for judgment! This will be a mercy. To me, my servants, feast upon these villains and their foul sin! I will crush you! Fine! Fine if you refuse to die! I will strip you of the illusion of will! Then you will suffer! Yes! That will be your punishment! Receive of me my blessing and rise higher! Suffer, suffer, suffer! Suffer and know your folly! I will strip you of the illusion of will. I will crush you. Have you? Why do you not fall? Why? It burns! It burns! What is this? The light surges within me. Touch me. I see now. This is the pattern of my ascension. Very well. I shall embrace this trial. Feel my wrath! Feel my wrath! Your reckoning comes! shall excite the sin of your existence! Know your place! Know your place! I see now. This is the pattern of my ascension. Very well. I shall embrace this trial. Feel my wrath. Feel my wrath! Your reckoning comes! I shall excite the sin of your existence!
And there we go.
But
Done it.
I am all powerful!
Well, looks like we missed it all yet again. With your powers, you could have done so much good. We've secured an escape route. Do what you must. There lieth the last of the light. A dramatic transformation, the result of the Senator within emerging to claim dominance, I assume. Is that all through? Yep. I see. It's finally over then. Now, night will return to all of Northront, bringing salvation to both of our two worlds. Upon speaking with Rain, several cutscenes will play in sequence. It is recommended that you set aside sufficient time to view these scenes in their entirety. Okay. As you leave the area, you may return here by speaking with sentry posted at the entrance to Mount Gaul. There we go. A lot of cutscenes.
Why? Why am I cast down? But it is you who are the villains. Father told me that I am hope. I am righteousness. That I am a god.
So his father is what? Zeus? Or something like that?
That is why I was born. As man and sin eater both. I kept the people safe. They respected me. Worshipped me.
Are you sure about that? I don't think you've actually kept him safe.
How can this be? I should be the one looking down at you. Help me. Damn you. I am your god.
The light goes inside me.
Look! The sky!
Vision? Saying it's gonna something happen.
Fools! Were it not for my decisive action, the whole city would have been overrun, razed to the ground. Yet they dare to complain about casualties? Spare me. I'll wager they were put up to it by those wretches who seek to usurp me. They're stirring up the citizenry. But if they think I will yield to the likes of them, they are gravely mistaken.
To be subjected to such deplorable treatment, such ingratitude. You have my sympathies, sir. You do so much good for this city, and you could do so much more were you not surrounded by fools.
Well, we know who this is.
Who are you? You're not supposed to be in here.
My apologies for the intrusion, but I come bearing a proposal, one that will ensure the longevity of your reign.
I bet the Commonwealth Mayor is actually porphyry. Or... and obviously Emmett Silk done something to him.
But give me the word, sir, and I will bring hither a light warden. By giving its power to the babe within your lady wife's womb, we shall create a transcendent being, a king to rule over all. And as sire to the king, your authority will never again be in question.
Oh. Damn.
Amazing. Before my Vorthri, they behave as docile pets. With this gift, my line shall be guaranteed power for perpetuity. We shall rule the whole world.
Damn.
By all means, sir. United under Yulmor's banner, men will cease fighting and abandon their ambitions. Thus, they will grow fat and complacent, and in their sloth, seal your supremacy.
Oh dear.
Are you all right? Say something.
"12 Forfend. He cannot contain the light. He's beginning to turn. Urianger, if you've aught up your sleeve, now is the time."
It's changing back.
Oh no.
The combined power of every Light Warden is too terrible a burden for any one soul to bear. And so I shall relieve you of it.
He's gonna sacrifice himself.
Exarch! What are you doing?
I will channel this profusion of power to the Crystal Tower and use it to travel to other worlds. As I have dreamed of doing ever since I first learned of their existence. Who would choose to remain here in this dying realm when they might go elsewhere and begin anew? Not I. And thus did I use you.
Shit.
No, I don't believe you. It doesn't make sense.
Damn you! We won't let you do with him as you please.
Do not interfere! Please, I beseech you all, let him go.
You knew of this, Urianger. Tis all a fiction. Such vaguely defined acts of teleportation stand no chance of success. The Exarch will never live to see another world, as he knows only too well.
Then, what does he mean to do?
He means to take the light with him into the rift, where he will die. From the beginning, he intended to sacrifice himself to save our friend and Norvrent.
At journey's end, an opportunistic thief makes off with the hero's prize. A paltry way to end a chapter, I concede. Yet your tale will continue, and my role in it will scarcely be remembered. Worry not. Whatever should become of me, I will be happy and free, safe in the knowledge that I have played my part.
Point by his name. I recognize him.
Thank you for fighting for this world, for believing. Fare you well, my friend, my inspiration.
Shit.
Only those who possess the royal eye of the Allagan Imperial line are capable of controlling the Crystal Tower. Such individuals do not exist in the First. Therefore, in all likelihood, the Exarch arrived here with the tower. This much I had surmised, yet I could not discern his grand scheme. To think that he went through all this trouble for the sake of a single hero. It's almost admirable in its absurdity. Alas, it is not your grand scheme that will succeed, but ours. You bastard! Stay put. Your friend is still alive, but whether he remains so depends on you. What a disappointment you turned out to be. I placed my faith in you, let myself believe that you could contain the light. But look at you now, halfway to becoming a monster. You are unworthy of my patronage.
What do you intend to do? It was you who created Corporate, wasn't it?
I am an Ascian. My heart's sole desire is to usher in the Great Rejoining. 100 years ago, I entrusted my comrade Logriff with the task of increasing light's sway over this world. This we sought to do by manipulating heroes. When that failed to achieve the desired result, I created Vorthri. But thanks to your meddling, that too has ended in failure.
What was your true purpose in approaching us?
By your 12, boy, have I not told you before that everything I said was the truth? You were specimens by which I might gauge man's potential as it stands. I genuinely had an interest in you, genuinely considered taking you on as allies. Provided he could contain and control the light. If not, then he, and by extension you, would be of no use to me. 'Twas as simple as that.
So, we've been found wanting. How disheartening. But even had we fulfilled your conditions, there was no guarantee that we would cooperate. What then?
Then I simply kill you all. At the very least, it would restore the world to the way it was before you went about trouncing Light Wardens willy-nilly. Suffice it to say, it would be most inconvenient to have all that light taken away, and I would be lying if I were to claim his actions didn't have me worried. You still retain your form and your senses, but you have all but become a Sin Eater. Whether you will it or no, your mere existence will serve to engulf the world in light. Those in your company will likewise turn into Sin Eaters, and in time you will succumb to your base instincts and hunt innocents to feast on their sweet, sweet ether. Those few with the will left to fight may rise up against you, but before your absolute might, they will quickly know despair. There is no hope. We are finished. Mankind is finished. Ah, the irony. What Vorthri achieved through bliss, you achieved through despair. But I have overstayed my welcome. I shall look forward to seeing you bring the world to its knees, hero.
Exarch!
Yeah.
I have naught to show for all the time and effort I invested in you. He is a small token for my troubles. I did not expect that I could learn aught from man, But I may yet learn something from all the knowledge he had hoarded for his precious hero. I pity you, I do. Your friends are now your foes. If you do not kill them, they will kill you. When it all becomes too much to bear, seek me out at my abode in the dark depths of the Tempest. There, you may complete your descent into madness, with some dignity, far from prying eyes. Till then, I bid you farewell, Eater.
Ah, finally.
Was it just a dream? What happened? What happened?
After you collapsed, Emmet's self vanished. Then Reen did what she could to stay the raging of the light within your body. Thanks to her, you're still you, but she's only delayed the inevitable. You're not going to like what you see, but you still need to see it.
So back to normal again. Well, back to as it was before.
It's like this all over. The whole of Norvrat is shrouded in light again. And it's because of you, and the power you absorb from the Wardens. No one knows but your friends. When they carried you down from the mountain, they told everyone waiting below that they didn't understand why the light had returned. And now they're out there trying to allay the people's fears, while searching for a way to save you. If you're well enough to be up, you're well enough to get some fresh air. Better that than stewing in here. Go on. Go.
Warden of the Light. Oh, sir, you're awake. You were injured during the foray on Mount Gulg, yes? I was here at my station as always, when they carried you in on a makeshift stretcher, looking disturbingly bereft of figure. And to compound my worry, the sky has, well, I'm sure you've seen it, has everyone rather concerned, to say the least. Seeing you up and about is the first good news we've had in a while. Assuming you feel strong enough, would you mayhap consider a stroll around the city to reassure our anxious citizens? Rayi was one of those who helped convey you to your chambers, and he has visited several times since to inquire after your condition. Okay. She's quite close to AE. That gave me quite a lot of XP doing that trial. Well, actually, not the trial. I think it's probably the dungeon. Gave me a lot of XP. Yeah, it gave me 17 million, which is a hell of a lot. It's the first time bonus. Well, well, look who's back from the dead. Aye, it was a grim sight. Your companions looked fair ready to drop when they brought you in, so I offered a helping hand. Couldn't bear to see them struggle, so. And you, my friend, I feared you had one foot in the grave. Cold and lifeless you were, like a corpse that was somehow still breathing. Then they told me some evil bastard went and snatched our poor exarch away, in the midst of the chaos. Wicked White, what is this world coming to? Bah, but Marion never sold a thing, did it? Nay. It's times like these that we Crystalian folk stand tall and do what needs to be done. Trade with Ormore is back on the table. We best make use of those resources to fortify the city against readers, or whatever misery the fates seem fit crow at us next. Speaking of misery, Jessamine was worried sick about you. A healer ring in her hands is not a sight you ever wish to see. Let me tell you. Oh, sweetie, you're alive. No one's been allowed to see you. Even surrogates were forbidden from making visits. Breen was kind enough to tell me you were showing symptoms similar to ether corruption, so I suppose there was little any of us could have done for you in any case. As for your companions, they've been rushing hither and yon, seeking a cure to your condition. I worry to see their faces grow ever more haggard every time they pass through the crystal. I shall let them know you're awake, and when they come to see you, sweetie, please do convince them to rest a bit. They won't be helping anyone if they all collapse of exhaustion. And our own Morin has been a little better, I'm afraid. He hasn't left the cabinet too busy with his nose buried in one dusty tome or another. I found it. This is the same thing as the last. Mayhap I should approach the problem from a different perspective. Brito, is it truly you and not some figment of my imagination? Oh, but this is wonderful. It would seem our prayers have been answered. Feeling otherwise helpless, I've been scouring our shells for the wisdom to explain this most worrisome conundrum. Why, with all the Light Wardens defeated, has the light returned to obscure the sky? I must have pored over 100 times, but no conclusion seems forthcoming. So many questions I would pose to the Exarch, and thus do I feel his absence all the more keenly. Now that you are awake, however, I'm hopeful the search for our stolen steward might begin in earnest. Catelys, meanwhile, leads the crystalline mean in preparations for battle, though against what foe we are as yet uncertain. Why not pay her a visit? I expect seeing you upright would be a much welcome relief. Crusoe, alive and well, I see. He gave us all a proper fright, you know that? Not a day has gone by that I haven't heard folk worrying what's to become of you or the Exarch. Anyway, I'm glad you're recovered enough to stand. You're not planning on striking out straight away, though, are you? I was hoping to have a better look at your equipment. If we'd been able to provide you with better weapons, sturdier helms, then maybe you would have won the day, and the Exarch would still be here. As such, we're keeping busy consulting each other on new forging techniques and designs and the like. If you could stand still a moment, I'd like to assess the gear we're trying to improve. Aye, well, that's some fun work, I must admit. It wouldn't be impossible to make something better, but we need to experiment with different patterns and materials, and I'm not sure we have that kind of time. That sounds like a challenge that he would enjoy. Greetings, Gennard. The master of the stairs is running his own errands now, is he? Aye, well, my servers are distraught enough as it is, and I didn't want to crack the whip too hard. But never mind that. I'm thinking that absent genius and his Ephianes are the perfect answer to this predicament of yours. And by genius you mean old Renault? He is a man of unrivaled gifts. I won't argue with you there. But what good does his talent do us if we can't bloody find him? No one's seen hide nor hair of Renault since he wandered off some years ago. You know what he's like once he latches onto an idea. He's probably cloistered himself in some forgotten cave, completely absorbed in his latest creation. I wouldn't even know where to start looking. Is that who I think it is? The same guy in the Audio with the relic weapons? I mean, it seems like it. That does make things difficult. Still, if that eccentric is someone you're destined to meet, I'll wager he'll show up soon enough. In my time at the bar, many's the tale I've heard told of strangely fated encounters, even if a few of them might be stretching the truth just a bit. Well, keep our noses to the grindstone for the time being, but on the off chance you do encounter Grinault, you'd be wise to take advantage of his brilliance rather than wait on slow and steady progress. This is all talk for when you're fully recovered, of course. I'll let you get back to conversing, eh? Ah, before you do that, you're actually the reason I came over here in the first place. I don't just partaking of my stock until you're properly well, but if you're passing near the stairs, then I've a regular who's eager to meet you. I'd best be getting back. Just because the world's coming apart at the seams doesn't mean we have to follow suit now, does it? Hear, hear. We can't forget the heart upon which this city was founded, or the Exarch might not have much of a home to return to. So, are you alright? I think a return to your sickbed might be in order. Or you might consider resting a while atop the watchtower next to the rockery. This damnable sky doesn't make for the most soothing scenery, but the Exarch often liked to stand there and feel the wind upon his face. Just in this tower here.
The people of this city have spirit, I'll give them that. They've not lost the will to fight. I can imagine how torn you must feel, looking at that sky, knowing what it means to everyone, and that you're responsible.
The secrecy is worse. I'd rather people know or knew. I still can't believe it's coming from me. It's all such a mess. I think the first one, maybe.
If you're thinking of coming clean, don't. It might make you feel better, but it would make things 100 times worse for them. They're better off not knowing. You're in a corner, and there doesn't seem to be any obvious way out. But that doesn't mean it's over. However hopeless it seems, you haven't lost yet. I remember looking up at the sky like this before. Being caught up in a strange kind of calm. It was after we realized we were responsible for the flood. When we resolved to journey to the source by taking our own lives. One last sacrifice. One last fight. One last failure. And then the Oracle appeared and, well, you know the rest. There were times in the years and decades that followed when I wondered if we might not have been better off just letting the rejoining happen. That we'd made one last mistake. But seeing that giant Talos stir to life cured me of any doubts I still had. Always we took the burden of fighting upon ourselves. That's what heroes do, isn't it? So we never had the chance to see anything like that. Our people coming together as one. To think that their hope still burned so bright. That they were still so eager to live, they would lift up their fellows, one on top of the other, till they reached the sky. No. We made the right decision. And I can finally feel proud of the part we played in helping this world survive. Well, come on then.
Yeah.
As I thought. What happened between us was no coincidence. My story may be finished. The fates have gifted me a minor role in yours. I suspected as much the moment I realized you could hear me. But it's hard not to doubt yourself when you're the man who caused the flood. I was afraid to do anything more than watch for fear of making things even worse. But no longer. After all, the path I once walked is now yours to finish. For what it's worth, I cast my lot with yours. If you need a push, I'll be right there behind you. If you lose control, I'll do my best to stop you. So, let us be about it, hero.
Oh, I was worried you were up here all alone, brooding and fretting and wallowing in your woes. But look at you, grinning at nothing like a pollen-drunk pixie.
Oh dear.
Look at what you've done to your ether. It's a mess. And you have cracks running all through that pretty soul of yours. My poor little sapling. Whatever am I to do with you? Shall I yield up my throne? You could claim it, cut ties with the mortal world, hide away in the castle. It won't fix the problem, but would it really matter? If any pesky heroes come calling with steel and magic, all of Ilmeg will rise up in your defense. My crown and scepter are yours, if you want them. What? Don't give me that look. Of course I knew before I asked that you'd never ever heed such a wicked suggestion. And besides, what would become of my precious and ephemeral flower? Oh, my dear beloved sapling. You are lost, confused, and have precious little time to gather your wits. Your kind is always so preoccupied with what lies ahead, and so we muddle your vision with fog and glamour. But such trickery is easy to see through. Stand very, very still. Think not of where you need to go, but where you are right now at this moment, at this time, in this place. Our cairn of crystal. From shadowed hood he watched you go, his ruby eyes with warmth aglow. See yourself as he saw you, and that shall be the clearest clue. You stand in his garden, dear sapling. Ask his flowers what they know, and you will surely find an answer. But what will you do with it, I wonder? I'll be watching and waiting. Waiting and watching.
Gather information on the crystal website. Do we have? So we don't have any so where are they then? Oh, I did not expect to see you on your feet so soon. Surely you have not come in search of them tomorrow. What do I know of the crystal website? I'm happy to share, but I fear there will be no surprising revelations, as any inner city could tell you. He is a man of wisdom and compassion, and many untold secrets, but none can doubt his generosity when the Colosseum was being constructed. He even allowed folk to plunder the tower for resources. He has imposed no restrictions upon us but one. No one except the Exarch is permitted to dwell within the spire. Many seasons past, a comrade of mine was bold enough to ask the reason why. The Exarch merely smiled and said, because one day the Crystal Tower may vanish as suddenly as it arrived. Yeah, because originally it vanished from Eorzea once you complete the story of the Crystal Tower. And then obviously it must have arrived at the first. So Pluto, it's good to see you. Wait, can alert my friend. What's this about? You're not writing the Exarch's memoirs, are you? I'm not sure how much I can tell you, considering we avoid asking too many questions. Unspoken rule and all that. If anyone has fresh insights to share, then it'd be Captain Lena, I'd say. She lost her parents to an Eater attack not long after she was born, and the Exarch saw to her upbringing, outward appearances aside. Those two are like grandfather and granddaughter. I imagine the news of his predicament hit her doubly hard. Not that our proud captain would ever let it show. If you do decide to talk to Lena, she'll be at her usual post at the Ancestor Gate. Now, was there something else you needed? If you come for the results of my research into this persistent light, I'm afraid there's little to tell as of yet. Records pertaining to the Exarch? Well, I need no documentation to allay what little I know of his history, if that is what interests you. Ahem. Less than a decade had passed since the coming of the Flood, when the Crystal Tower first flashed into existence. Its summoner, the Exarch himself, became known to the refugees in Lakeland soon thereafter. It welcomed all who sought out the spire, be they locals who had lost their homes or properties fleeing their ruined kingdom, and together did they found a city which would become the Crystarium. Some thought to call him king, for he refused to share his name, but the summoner did not deem himself worthy of royal address. Thus did the people consider his scintillating skin so alike to the tower he had summoned, and bestowed upon him the title of Crystal Exarch. As for his true name, well, it would seem that is a mystery that remains unsolved to this day. But we all know whose name is, though I can't exactly remember myself, but I definitely remember. Rito, I was not told you had awakened. A welcome surprise. Now, if only the outside was returned to us. He was taken by this rival of yours, was he not? Your companions mentioned they had an idea of where to find him, and so I bristled when they asked for patience. I did not understand their hesitation until I saw that you had fallen. Only then did I realize that I had no business rushing with me. Even so, the delay has been no less agonizing. In the moments before I left to join you in Calusia, the Exarch trusted me with a key. He opens the door in the Ocula to a chamber known as the Umbilicus. This room is the heart of the tower into which only the Exarch himself is permitted to enter. He bid me allow none into the tower once he had departed, only in the event that an army of beaters descended upon the city, was I to access the Umbilicus and awaken the defensive barrier. Never before had he left me with such instructions, but the battle with Porphyry loomed near, and at the time I accepted the key without much thought. Since then, however, that moment is all that occupies my mind. When I recall the look upon his face, he knew that some terrible fate awaited him. Tell me, Crusoe, I need to know what he feared, what battle you and your companions are truly fighting. Forgive me, I trust in the Exarch, and I should not be voicing these doubts when he is not here to respond to them personally. But you have come to me with a question of your own, have you not? Ah, I see I am not the only one who burns for answers. The time has come to open the tower's heart. Though we did not face an invasion of eaters, I suspect the city will be in far more danger if you do not gain the knowledge you seek. The unbroken thread. Come, meet me in the Ocula and I will unlock the door within. Okay. Master Crusoe, the captain said to expect you.
I have unlocked the door to the umbilicus. You are free to enter. Once you have what you require, I'll see it sealed once more. Until then, I will remain without.
A moment to collect my thoughts, I prithee.
Okay. So obviously this is where Oriange learns how is he gonna pretty much sacrifice himself.
Thy true name is Grahatia, then? By thy claims, thou too art a native of the Source, though from an age beyond our own, when the 8th umbral calamity hath visited devastation upon our star. Thou hast, by subtle means, reached across the boundaries of time and space to unsow the seeds of catastrophe, ere its creeping vines drag our champion unto an early grave.
In essence, yes. A difficult story to swallow, I am sure.
I doubt not the veracity of thy words, not the account of thy coming, nor that of the fated calamity. Yet my mind straineth still to apprehend the enormity of this tale. Wouldst thou favor me with a gradual unfolding of its chapters?
Certainly. But where to begin? I should start with those great minds who survived the calamity. Sid Garland being perhaps the greatest. In hopes of staying the unending tides of war, he and his fellows pursued all manner of possible solutions. One of these was rooted in a theory which unified several fundamental principles discovered over the course of the Warrior of Light's adventures. It proposed a method by which one could enter the River of Time, traverse the rift, and leap between worlds. Perfecting that idea, however, was a work which consumed their lifetimes. And thus was it left to future generations to decide whether theory would be put into practice. But all the while, the world continued to burn. Hope was a feeble outpost, beset on all sides by thievery and misery and murder. People cried out in despair, "There is no hope, we are finished. Mankind is finished." Then others raised their voices in answer. Though we be beyond salvation, those who came before may yet be saved. We will forge a crossroads and pave the way for a different future. By the wisdom of our forebears, we will prevent this calamity from ever having come to pass. The fighting went on unabated, but some few took up Cid's research and labored to realize those impossible ideas. After 2 centuries of labor, their descendants finally succeeded in awakening the Crystal Tower, an integral part of the process, and, in doing so, roused its caretaker, me. By this stage, scholars had largely established the phenomena underpinning the rejoining, and identified the first as the shard which precipitated the 8th Umbral Calamity. This grand structure was already capable of storing the energies required to attempt the translocation. All that remained was to augment some few of its functions based upon the theoretical models of Cid and his compeers.
And by means of such technologies didst thou effect thine arrival in the first, to an age before this star had joined with the Source.
Some while before, as it turned out. 'Tis all but impossible to predict how time will flow between one world and the next, and we missed our mark by almost an entire century. But this only worked in our favor. The Sin Eaters could not be defeated without the blessing of light, and summoning the only man who might stand a chance against them would require decades of preparation.
An undertaking of scarce credible endurance. That thou hast kept thy plan from falling into disarray these many years bordereth on the miraculous. Yet howsoever history be rewritten, thy present self was shaped by events which followed the calamity. Should said catastrophe be averted, the very skein of thine existence will unravel. Surely thou hast foreseen this.
I am aware of the consequences. 'Tis for that very reason Cid and his colleagues bequeathed their legacy as an offering, and not an edict. To give all of oneself for the happiness of others, and with no promise of reward, 'tis a hard thing to ask. Harder still for those condemned to survive in a world which pitted brother against brother. Indeed, you are right to call the execution of this plan miraculous, though the force which held it together was nothing so inexplicable. It was him. The warrior of light has been our unbroken thread. Where others would stumble and fall, he would rise above. Where others would break and run, he would carry on. The Warrior of Light's tale is one of unyielding bravery. To tell it was to feel courage. To hear it was to feel hope. It was a breath of inspiration in an age of suffocating shadow. In the histories of a fallen nation was our hero hailed as its greatest ally. In the time-worn pages of a noble's memoirs were his deeds joyously retold. For many, these stories were the flame which warmed them through the coldest of nights. And so it should come as little surprise that the plan found no shortage of volunteers, concerning as it did the Warrior of Light himself. It was their chance to add their own verse to the hero's saga. He was the lodestar that brought them all together, to send their final message back through time and space to him. The light of your legacy was our torch in the darkness. Burn bright again and live. I am merely the bearer of that wish, come to ensure it is safely delivered.
Wherefore sharest thou this burden with me and no other? What wouldst thou have me say?
That you will be my accomplice?
Yeah.
'Twas you yourself who convinced me of your suitability when you spoke of how you learned of the Flood, and of your part in arranging Minfilia's journey to the First. Your actions showed uncommon resolve. 'Twas clear you were committed to the cause of saving this world. I knew I could trust you to choose the right path forward, even if that choice came with a heavy price.
What price?
When all is said and done, and the last of the Light Wardens lies slain, I will absorb their corrupted ether, and then I will die. Knowing what I know of your companions, not to mention your champion, they will try to stop me. But in saving one, they would save none. Therefore, I implore you to aid me in concealing my identity, and ensuring this tale ends as it must. To this end, I would have you take what I have told you of the Calamity, and make of it a portent. A prophetic vision you beheld in the swirling chaos of the Rift.
Is this truly thy wish?
History remembered the Warrior of Light, as I knew it would. And I will suffer no other to rescue the champion whose star has charted my course. I will see this tale to a happy end, my friend. There has been enough tragedy.
Well, it didn't really sort of work out, did it?
Careful now. If you lose control again, the light could claim you for good. Although it's probably only a matter of time before you succumb to the change in any case. What do you mean to do?
I mean to hunt down Emmett Silk. I mean to rescue Exarch. I mean to have a few words with both Emmett and the Exarch. Yeah.
Then we should be on our way. Diassian mentioned the Tempest, did he not? That's the stormy seas around Calusia to you. His lair must be down there somewhere, hidden beneath the waves.
Did you find the answers yourself? If there is nothing more you need, I will go and lock the door. I have questions about the Tempest. The Tempest. That is the name given to the seas by which Beluga is bound. If you make a request to the Tamers, they will provide you with an Amaro to fly you over the waters, but do you mean to leave right this moment alone? I'm not sure that. Nay, I will not seek to stop you. Go with the blessings of the Shadow, and I shall await your safe return. That'd be good. You require an Amaro? Just a moment, and I shall saddle a swiftest beast to fly you to the island. The open water to the depths of the Tempest. The Amaro can swim, yes, but to reach the ocean floor. Oh no.
Ah, we have found thee. Word reached us of thy recovery, and thus did we gather with all haste. Ah. By thy looks, I gather thou hast gleaned that which I came to tell thee.
Urianger has shared everything with us. The Exarch's true identity and purpose.
I offer no excuses. When I agreed to aid the Exarch with his plans, 'twas in full acceptance of the condemnation I would face when my duplicity was laid bare. Yet it is not rancor, but resolve that I sense in thee. Thou art fully intent upon walking thy path to its end, art thou not? If thou canst forgive my deception, or, failing that, set aside thy displeasure for a time, I do beg leave to follow thee. What strength and wisdom I possess are thine to command.
Forgive you, let's go. I am a danger to those around me. No more lies. First one.
I thank thee. Doubt not but that I will do all in my power to repay thy kindness and fulfill the Exarch's wishes.
I'm sorry, but I don't think this is a good idea. Leaving the Crystarium, I mean, with or without Urianger. What I did for you won't last forever. There's no telling when the light will break free again. Please, you must stay here. At least for a little while longer. We will find a way to cure this, I promise you.
How can you make promises? We don't even know where to start.
Alize, please. You know Reen was only trying to help.
Of course I know only too well. But making promises you have no way of keeping is not a kindness. It's a lie. Plain and simple. We've all searched high and low for an answer, and every one of us came back empty-handed. I am not about to stand in his way now. Not after failing him in his hour of need. No! The least we can do is...
We will go with you as well. There is naught to be gained by standing still.
Indeed, we have exhausted every other avenue. Lead, and we shall follow. If there is any hope to be found, then we will surely find it at your side.
Are we all in agreement then?
Is there aught we can do to help?
Though we may not know the whole story, we do know you're in for a fight. And while the Exarch's away, it falls to the rest of us to see the Warrior of Darkness is given a proper send-off.
You told them?
No. Well, not in so many words.
Aye, we didn't need it spelled out for us. When the night sky appeared over whichever place you went to, it was harder not to put two and two together.
From the moment I heard that you and the Exarch shared the homeland, I had my suspicions. Long had he been waiting for a certain someone to arrive, and I knew at once that it must be you.
Exactly. When he went up to meet you, 'twas clear it was no ordinary visitor. That spring in his step spoke volumes. I could feel his excitement.
Me too! That's right!
Yeah.
We do not fully understand where you or the Exarch hail from, or why you've all done so much to protect us. But we are deeply grateful nonetheless. So, if there is anything at all we might do to aid your journey, you need only name it. What would you have of us?
You might have invited them to join us, where they're not so many. But come, they are waiting. What is your will, O Warrior of Darkness?
Defend the Coliseum until we return. Leave it to us. We'll see the Exarch home safe and sound. Hope for the best, but prepare for the worst. First one. Something I can do to cleanse you of the light's corruption, but I'll do everything in my power to keep it in check. If the Warden's ether overwhelms you again, you'll become a senior, so please save your strength for when it really matters. The volunteers who journeyed to Colusia have all been safely returned to their homes. They have all also assured us that they will do their best to hold the Eaters at bay in our absence. We also know you have spent enough time charging into danger on our behalf. It's only fair that we return the favour. I once said that I want you to fight for Itinian, that I want you to save him, not let him be sacrificed for a cause, and now I say the same for you, to you. Just so you know, I will not look kindly on any further attempts to leave us behind. We do this together. Oh. There's this planted Commander Kanamaro for thy journey to the open sea. I fear the foreign dive down onto Emersalt's underwater abode would drain even the legendary stamina. Thus, during the conference, we considered the most efficacious method for reaching the depths of the Tempest, and I believe we have arrived at an elegant solution. Yet, ere we discuss this step, I should thus conclude such pressing business as remains to thee in the Crystarium. Once the sea closeth above our heads, we are unlikely to service again until our grand deed is done. The storm-tossed seas. Thine affairs are in order, then I shall unfold to thee my proposal. Our destination is the ocean floor, yet our goal is not simply to arrive there. Nay, we must needs have the means to breathe and fight freely. Thus with our petition to the aid of one of the Fae, a being with whom I have yet to meet face to face. Rather than waste words on explanation, I bid thee follow me on to the hamlet of Sion, which lieth to the south and west. All will become abundantly clear, I promise thee. Some side quests. There to the west, you can also discern the hump of an isle rising above the water. Therefore, the covered mass hidden the key to our safe descent. Swim close and plunge deep beneath the surface, though shall soon define the reason for my insistence. Though it be much to my shame, I can but plough and plunder where thou mightest glide as a fish. I shall board a boat to the island and bear one and all the spectacle of mine inexploits. So investigate the suspect rock formation beneath the waters. Right. It's up higher. Wait. This ain't an island. It's actually a living thing, that's like a 9. It's more like a being. Or big giant fish. Or like a tailus kind of thing. Though pretty solid enough, the rock yields slightly under your touch. Was the surface gently shifting, or was it just your imagination? Oh, it's definitely alive, or at least something like that. Basically a giant tortoise. Even seeing it up close, I'm still not sure what's so special about this island. The locals call this the Isle of Ken, which I presume must refer to knowledge. Either that or someone has been awfully zealous about marking its territory. This lake is enormous. Assuming my geography is correct, this would be the mirror of Silvertier back in the source, although the size hardly compares. So where's Pistola and everything? Oh, don't see him around. Well, what has I discerned? I discerned that it's an ordinary island. It reminds me of a certain primal. It's just like the big one. Yes, yes, whatever that is. Primal, maybe. Most perceptive. According to the law of the Pixies, we are, even now, perched upon the back of an ancient Fey entity. Its name is Bismarck. Aye, the self-same title bar which we know, the Great Pepper Wow, referred by the Vanyu of the source. Oh yeah. It does look like that. I would, in this, it's a to bear us into the deep, and thence banish the water with an airy spear, unlike in form to the domes which do shelter the hamlets beneath the ruby sea. Within its compass, we may move unencumbered and defend ourselves when the hour of battle permit, as it most surely shall. Now I must needs ask for silence, whilst I'll make my supplication.
Wir Sach, Bilan Bismail.
Imida, Sawin, Mirane. Amatagnai.
Fallen si lor wislan. Ada si alinal.
Van Urs Atslir. Olfod Thim. Iri Guath Thi.
Oh dear. I don't need to speak Fey to know that didn't go well.
We need fail.
Oh, my snake yak! You've learned to call me at last! And where do you go? On a trip? A journey? I knew you wouldn't give up without a fight. Oh, my precious mortal, I shall help you in any way I can. Gers Bismail win picked. Van dromi drom yakum. Van red rithye.
Ahai Una. Sahawin Whisk. Isne Rim. Sor Lierlo.
Be sure to scrub this one's teeth for him upon your return. He's only got manners.
It will be done, Your Majesty. Our deepest thanks for your timely intervention.
An agreement is reached and your departure is at hand. You wingless ones best hold on tight. May the blessings of the Fae keep you safe, Inba.
Hold on to what?
Lo fallo ruis, van in narsitar, dir sitagnai.
And just like that, it's all gone back to the way it was.
What was you expecting? 100 years of honey and rainbows? Seeing them Yulmore types wake up and smell the ashes was miracle enough for me.
Ah, but the magic in the air when that ladder started moving. And when that great hulking Talos rose up. Gods. I could live 1,000 years and never behold anything so amazing.
What the? Do you see that?
What a monster! Where did it even come from?
Whoa there!
It's not stopping.
Run! Run!
Oh dear.
Vanana Anna, Tilden Sitok, Iri Halvsi, Funne, Aktma von Jasni, Tagnai.
Wow.
The breath of Bismarck. See how it swells to form a dome beneath the waves? The waters recede. The tempest's floor is laid bare. In defiance of the blinding sky, this place holds fast to its gloom. The last refuge, of he who denies the light with every fiber of his being. You stand at the precipice, hero. Journey unto the heart of darkness. Finish it.
The Tempest. There's no A for currents in this area. You can't fly then. Or can you? Haha. So glad I'm right that Bismarck was true to his word. We are arrived in the Tempest, safe and dry. It is here that we shall find the lair of him itself, and I believe the imprisoned itself as well. For Nassian alone, it is of course a trifling matter to flee onto the rift. Yet I suspect such travel is nigh impossible with a mortal in one's custody. Nay, he would not soon risk his prize when yet starts. Very body severe the key to the Crystal Tower and its powers of temporal transportation. Thus I am all but certain that this underwater realm harboureth our friend and enemy both. We have but to find them. Gotta do that. See what these guys say. I remember being impressed by the domes of the BBC, but this makes them look like bubbles in a stream. This must be powerful indeed to create a dome of this size. I can only pray to whichever gods I listen that it continues to hold. This is amazing. I can't even see the surface. With all that water out of the way, we'll be able to venture quite some distance. And itself must be hiding somewhere around here somewhere. I dare say Oyonje enjoyed much playful attention from the Pixies to learn the lore of Bismarck. He is nothing if not a dedicated scholar. Oysters on the half a shell. On the half shell. In the event that you leave the area, speak with Inri at Fenimont Yards in Calicia to return to the Tempest. Come, let's begin our search. Now, as for where we should be looking, I rather doubt M itself would be sitting around out in the open. I propose we follow the slope down towards the deeper trenches and keep an eye out for rock formations large enough to house a stronghold. Let's be off then, but watch your footing. The ground is still wet and like to be slippery. No, don't lie though, I'm almost level, what, 80? So you can't really, be nice to fly if we can't. Oh. There is one then? Southeast, okay then. So you can fly here. Yeah, there. Maybe... go through here and then go around. Damn, this face is nice. The hell was that? Oh. Plane is east. Yeah, I don't see anything. It's north again. That should be below me, is that right? You can't go any unless somehow go down there. I'll do that another time then. Obviously, he was obviously shot. Obviously, finless ones, they followed me. Why have you come? Was it you who took away our water? So this is where the Ondo meets their home. I'd wondered. Pray forgive us any inconvenience we have caused. We were not aware your people lived here in the Tempest. We need this great dome of air that we might conduct a most urgent search. And first beg you for your understanding. Chieftain, what are we to do? Are you emissaries of the Ancient Ones? The mysteries have stirred. We have seen the illuminated land shining through the gleam of the abyss. If you are the emissaries, the chosen, I bid you welcome. If you are not, I bid you leave. I am not sure I understand. Would you be willing to elaborate? It would seem not. I would suggest we withdraw for the moment. So, what's the plan, given your condition? I'm reluctant to suggest leaving here. That said, our presently endearing search would proceed far more swiftly if we could call upon the Ondo's local knowledge. Yes, I'd like to know more about this eliminated land the chieftain spoke of. Could it be Emmett Selt's stronghold? These foes? He lit the lanterns upon his return. We cannot dismiss the possibility, but if these Ondo refuse to speak with us, Ruto, do you remember my first scheme for entering Morion? How do I have planned to ingratiate myself by offering lucrative trading opportunities with the Ondo? The individual I dealt with was reticent in manner and curious in custom, but were able to reach an agreement nonetheless. I believe that with the right approach we can build a similar relationship here. What kind of approach did you have in mind? That chieftain fellow didn't leave us any options. If you are to tread the swiftest course, then we must needs locate its beginning. This plain, all too dramatic arrival have thrown this settlement into confusion. Were we to solve such problems as we have caused, and assure our hosts thereby that our purpose here is not inimical to them, they may yet prove amenable to reason. That's more chores, but very well, if it can be done quickly. What do you think? I've nothing better to offer, but I do worry what will happen if the Ondo's tales end up leading us to the dead end. I cannot say for certain, but I sense this tribe has a deeper connection to the Asians than first meets the eye. It warrants further investigation, as I can't cast my vote in favour of aiding the settlement for the time being. We will make allies of the Yondo. Let's do what we do best. I'll do what I can, I suppose. Make allies. Then it's settled. Yustola, proceed with our investigations. The rest of us will see about fostering some goodwill. Right, it's getting a bit late, so I'm gonna end it here. Even though it's during, in the middle of the quest, but yeah. So thank you for everyone coming by. I'll be continuing this tomorrow. Bye guys.